Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So today is a very crazy day of League of Legends. We have Mad Lions and Rogue. That series is actually going on right now. Those games have been insane so far. A ton of fun to watch. Two very good teams playing some very high level League of Legends. We have Team Liquid and 100 Thieves later today. I don't expect that series to be as exciting. I really am favoring Team Liquid right now. But that'll still be cool to see who, is kind of going to grab that first spot in the finals for the LCS and to see if TL can keep looking as great as they've looked recently. But what I want to talk about in this video is actually tomorrow, which is an even bigger day of League of Legends. We have Fnatic G2, we have TSM Cloud9. These are four huge organizations, huge fan bases, so hyped. They all had crazy offseason, they've all had crazy years, and they are fighting for one world spot per region. One of these teams in each region is not going to Worlds. One of them is. It's so hyped, so exciting, and there is so much on the line. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate it so much. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm, where you'll find all other kinds of content, extra videos, podcast VODs, all of that good stuff. I would appreciate a ton. With that being said, let's get right into this. So as you guys can see up on the screen, the LEC Twitter account, they're hyping it up. They're getting ready. Everyone's been talking about it. Carlos, Fnatic, all the Fnatic players, all the G2 players, Perks is tweeting about it. NA people are tweeting about it. Fnatic and G2 for the last world spot. The two most popular, two biggest fan base teams over in the LEC. G2 obviously has been dominant the last couple of years over in Europe. They were one of the best teams in the world in 2019. They were one of the best teams in the world in 2020, and Fnatic was right there with them. I mean, these two teams both did good at Worlds last year. They both got out of groups, and now just a year later, less than a year later even, I mean, it hasn't been a full 365 days, one of them will not even be going back to Worlds, which is crazy. Now, both of these teams look so different. Obviously, this is G2 without Perks. Reckless is in, which doesn't seem like it should be that much of a downgrade. Doesn't seem like it should take G2 from a semifinal spot, one of the top 4 teams in the world, losing to Damwon, the eventual champion. So you could even argue G2 is like a top 3 or top 2 team in the world potentially. And then Fnatic obviously making a bunch of changes. Now they have Adam in the top lane. Bwipo's a jungler. Reckless turned into Upset. Nemesis is now Niski. Changes all over the place. The only constant is Hylissang back from that team. Again, less than a year later. So much change. So much craziness. And one of them won't be going to Worlds. This is Fnatic, who almost beat Top Esports. Almost made it to the semifinals. One of them will not be at Worlds. This game is going to be crazy. The viewership is going to be crazy. Both fan bases are going to be so hyped up, so excited. There's going to be so much trash talk, and I really expect every game to be so intense. We've seen both of these teams, when they perform at their best, when they play at their strongest, they can be so good. They can be so clean. They can be so aggressive, fun to watch, fast-paced. But also, both of these teams have shown us throughout the season that they can be not great. I mean, bad even. Like, G2 has had moments where they've absolutely looked bad. I mean, Caps, who is supposed to be a superstar, one of the best players in the world, has gone through games and weeks of looking like a bottom tier mid laner in the LEC. Wonder is getting a lot of criticism recently. Jankos has been pretty good as of late for G2, but if you look at the season as a whole, he's definitely had some games and weeks where he hasn't been so good. Reckless gets roasted all the time. Mickey, you never know what you're going to get there. And then on the Fnatic side, you have a rookie top laner. You have Bwipo, who you never really know when he's going to int and when he's going to go crazy. I mean, the one main consistent factor for Fnatic has kind of been Upset, getting praised the whole year. Hylissang can be good. Both of these teams have the tools to win this series. Again, all the craziness, all the roster changes, all the offseason craziness for both of these teams leads all the way up to this moment, this one series that they've been playing for the whole year. And so much is on the line. Going to Worlds, staying alive in the LEC playoffs, but also these players playing for their future. I mean, depending on who goes to Worlds and who doesn't, you really play the whole year to go to Worlds and to do well at Worlds. If you don't even make it to Worlds, that is a huge disappointment for organizations like Fnatic and G2. If G2 doesn't make it to Worlds, we could see some insane changes coming to G2 that could change the landscape of the world for League of Legends. I mean, having these G2 players bounce around to other rosters and potentially boost up some other rosters while G2 makes some changes and tries to bring in some new players, That could be crazy for the league. But then also with Fnatic, what is Whippo going to do? What is Hylissang going to do? Are they going to end up on other places? Are they going to stay with Fnatic? That could change so much as well. I put out a poll for who you guys think is going to win this series. I think 70% of the people voted for G2. I do expect G2 to be pretty significant favorites, but man, anything can happen. And then over on the LCS side, it's almost, just as exciting. This is TSM and Cloud9. So many people believe, there's a lot of people out there that believe both of these teams are better than 100 Thieves, that both of these teams are top 3 in North America, and that they should both be going to Worlds. But again, Cloud9 struggled in the summer. It didn't get them a top 3 seed. It got them this 4 seed, so now they are in this position where they're going to have to beat the #1 overall seed in the regular season in TSM. Same thing as the EU storylines for both of these teams. So much change in the offseason. TSM, Bjergsen and Doublelift gone. Lost in. Huni in. Power of Evil into the mid lane. Broken Blade kicked. They have a new support and Sword that they spent all this money on. Cloud9, same stuff. Spent a ridiculous amount of money on perks. And now they have Fudge up in the top lane. So much on the line for both of these teams because they have both spent a ton of money. And not making it to Worlds would make both of those, either one of those pretty terrible investments. And would really, really shake things up. There is a bunch of potential change coming into the offseason for both of these teams. Even the team that does go to Worlds. But man, the team that doesn't go to Worlds is just going to, really be clowned on. Cloud9 spending all that money. If they don't make it to Worlds, they have, they got perks. He's supposed to be playoff perks. He's supposed to be one of the best players in the world, one of the best mids in the world. He's supposed to come and stomp NA. Cloud9, they've now won back-to-back spring titles, and if they don't qualify for Worlds 2 years in a row, that's going to be awful. They could potentially be moving on from Sven. They could potentially be moving on from Blabber. And again, if those players end up on other teams around the world, that could really, really shake things up. And then on the TSM side, you have this inexperienced AD carry and Lost, who in a lot of people's eyes hasn't been cutting it. They now have this FTX money. They could go land make a splash for a big name Chinese AD carry or European AD carry. Maybe they'll get Sven up in the top lane. Huni's been good, but he's not great. They could make some moves there. Some people are even making questions about Power of Evil, where he's going to be long-term for TSM, but again, to have spent multiple $1 million on what they believe to be a top-tier support in the world, and then not even be able to make it to Worlds in North America, which is perceived as the weakest major region, would be a huge, huge disappointment. And again, your season in these leagues is defined by going to Worlds and trying to have success at Worlds. So no matter how good you've done this whole season, Cloud9, they won a championship. TSM, they're the #1 overall seed coming in the playoffs. But not qualifying to Worlds absolutely makes the entire season a disappointment. And it's all going to come down to this. Again, just like in EU, 2 of the biggest fan bases, probably the 2 most popular teams, so many big names, so many stars, so much trash talk. Fudge is saying that they're going to easy beat TSM. Speak is saying that Fudge is smoking the good stuff. All of this coming down to 2 massive series, G2 and Fnatic, TSM and Cloud9, on the same day with so much on the line. Not only does it affect this season, not only does it affect the off season, it affects the futures of both of these organizations and all of these players involved, and really it indirectly affects the careers of so many other players as well. That domino effect is absolutely there in League of Legends esports right now, and I can't wait to watch. I'm going to be glued to my TV and my screen, my monitor, wherever I end up watching it tomorrow, and it's going to be so fun. Not only are these series going to be fun, but the implications of these series are going to be so fun as well. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you do enjoy it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think is going to happen in either of these series? What do you think it's going to mean? What is a hot take you have about, the rest of this season, the off season, whatever? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.